Hey y'all, back again, reading part 2 of Zora and Hurston's classic short story, Sweat. If you haven't watched part 1, stop this video and go watch part 1, read the captions, and then come back and watch this, okay? So this part is a little challenging for me because it's written, it features a lot of that Southern dialect that Zora captures so well. She's actually a genius at it, and I love it so much. I think it's really beautiful. So I'm gonna try my best, but just keep in mind, I'm a Brooklyn girl, born and raised, so I don't have any experience with Southern dialect at all, but I do love it, and I'm gonna do my best, all right? Here we go. Part 2 of Sweat. The week was as full of work for Delia as all other weeks, and Saturday found her behind her little pony, collecting and delivering clothes. It was a hot, hot day near the end of July. The village men on Joe Clark's porch even chewed cane listlessly. They did not hurl the cane knots as usual. They let them drivel over the edge of the porch. Even conversation had collapsed under the heat. "Here come Delia Jones," Jim Merchant said, as the shaggy pony came round the bend of the road toward them. The rusty buckboard was heaped with baskets of crisp, clean laundry. "Yep," Joe Lindsay agreed. "Hot or cold, rain or shine, just as regular as the weeks roll round, Delia carries them and fetches them on Saturday. She better, if she want to eat," said Moss. "Sykes Jones ain't worth the shot of powder head would take to kill him. Not to her, he ain't." "He sure ain't," Walter Thomas chimed in. "It's too bad, too, 'cause she was a right pretty little trick when he got her. I'd have married her myself if he hadn't beat me to it." Delia nodded briefly at the men as she drove past. "Whew, too much knocking will ruin any woman. He done beat her enough to kill 3 women, let alone change their looks," said Elijah Mosley. "How Syke can summon that big black greasy mogul he's laying around with gets me. I swear that A-Rock couldn't kiss a sardine can I done throw it out the back door way last year." "Oh, she's fat. That's how it come. He's always been crazy about fat women," put in Merchant. "He'd have been tied up with one long time ago if he could have found one to have him. Did I tell you about how he comes saddling around my wife, bringing her a basket of pecans out of his yard for a present? Yes, sir, my wife. She told him take him straight back home. Delia worked so hard over that wash tub, she reckoned everything on that place tastes like sweat and soap suds. I just wish I'd caught him around there. I'd have made his hips catch on fire down that shell road." "I know he done it too. I seen him grinning at every woman that passes," Walter Thomas said. "But even so, he used to eat some mighty big hunks of humble pie till he got that little woman he got. She was as pretty as a speckled pup. But that was 15 years ago. He used to be so scared of losing her, she could make him do some parts of her husband's duty. They never was the same in the mind." "There ought to be a law about him," said Lindsay. "He ain't fit to carry guts to a bear." Clark spoke for the first time. "'Tain't no law on earth that can make a man be decent if it ain't in him. There's plenty men that takes a wife like they do a joint of sugar cane. It's round, juicy, and sweet when they gets it. But they squeeze and grind, and wring till they wring every drop of pleasure that's in them out. When they satisfied that they is wrung dry, they treats them just like they do a cane chew. They throws them away. They knows what they is doing while they is at it and hates themselves for it. But they keeps on hanging after her till she's empty. Then they hates her for being a cane chew and in their way. We ought to take Syke and that stray woman of his down in Lake Howell Swamp and lay on that rawhide till they can't say, Lord have mercy. He always was an overbearing nigga. But since that white woman from up north teach him how to run an automobile, he done got too bigoted to live. Yeah, we ought to kill him, old man Anderson advised. A grunt of approval went around the porch, but the heat was melting their civic virtue, and Elijah Mosley began to bait Joe Clark. Come on, Joe. Get a melon out there and slice it up for your customers. We's all suffering with the heat. Whew, the bear done got me. That's right, Joe. A watermelon is just what I need to cure the epizetics. Walter Thomas joined forces with Mosley. Come on in, Joe. We always steady customers, and you ain't set us up in a long time. I chooses that long-legged, bow-legged Florida favorite. I got him, Beto. You all give me 20 cents and slice away, Clark retorted. I need to cold slice myself. Here, everybody chip in. I'll lend you my meat knife. The money was quickly subscribed and the huge melon brought forth. At that moment, Sykes and Bertha arrived. A determined blooper. A determined silence fell on the porch, and the melon was put away again. Merchant snapped down the blade of his jackknife and moved toward the store door. Come on in, Joe, and give me a slab of slow belly and a pound of coffee. Almost forgot 'twas Saturday. Got to get on home. Most of the men left also. Just then, Delia drove past on her way home, as Sykes was ordering magnificently for Bertha. It pleased him for Delia to see. Get whatsoever your heart desires, honey. Wait a minute, Joe. Give her 2 bottles of strawberry soda water, a quarter parched ground peas, and a block of chewing gum. With all this, they left the store, with Sykes reminding Bertha that this was his town and she could have it if she wanted it. The men returned soon after they left and held their watermelon feast. Where did Syke Jones get that woman from nohow? Lindsay asked. Over Popka. Guess they must have been cleaning out the town when she left. She don't look like a thing but a hunk of liver with hair on it. Well, she sure can squall, Dave Carter contributed. When she gets ready to laugh, she just opens her mouth and latches it back to the last notch. No old grandpa out. I'm so sorry. Let me go back. Well, she sure can squall, Dave Carter contributed. When she gets ready to laugh, she just opens her mouth and latches it back to the last notch. No old grandpa alligator down in Lake Bell ain't got nothing on her. All right, y'all. That was part 2. As you can see, I was a little bit challenged by the dialect, but I love it and I'm doing my best. And I hope you're with me, and I hope you'll come back with me to hear part 3. And don't forget to look at the caption and think about the questions posed. And if you're interested in doing a free write or a journal reflection on any of the questions, go for it. Feel free to send it to me. I would love to see what ideas folks are coming up with based on these prompts and based on the genius that is Zora Neale Hurston. All right.